Our greatest life lessons are learned through experience or by relating to those when we're listening to their stories. Hi, I'm Dee Wiggins, and I've been blessed with a very diverse and crazy life that has provided an abundant supply of stories. If I look back over my life at the spiritual markers, I can see where God has led me step by step to becoming a publisher, an author, and a public speaker. I was raised in East Texas, hence the accent, and I married 1 month out of high school. I had a child the next year, and the next year I became the prodigal daughter. I walked away from marriage, became a wild college student, and pursued my dream of becoming a Dallas police officer. I had been on patrol, deep nights patrol, for about 4 years, and I had just started working undercover with Vice some, and I found out I was pregnant with my second child. So I got married, and then I walked away from a career that I loved to stay at home with my children. I missed the adrenaline dumps really bad. I used to pray that God would send me a burglar or a purse snatcher or something. Instead, He gave me a youth ministry. In June of 1994, I went to youth camp with a great group of kids. And on Wednesday night, the preacher called for adult volunteers to come down to the front and pray with the kids. As I was walking down there, I heard God ask me a question. And the question was, "What are you going to tell them, Dee? You don't even know me." And He was so right. I mean, I had been in church all my life, but I'd never fully been saved before and received the Holy Spirit. Next thing I know, I'm on my knees with all these kids, and when I got up, I knew my life was never going to be the same. I was what people like to call radically saved. I studied everything I could get my hands on, seminary books, everything. And then God began to bring me people to counsel, and that's continued over the past 25 years. My gift is prophecy, so I had a tendency to be very legalistic and judgmental until I received a big dose of humility. My husband left, and I had no home, no job, and 3 children to raise now. I was very angry with God. I did not understand why. I tried to do everything right, and I prayed so diligently, and yet everything still fell apart. So God had to bring me full circle. He had to teach me more about His character and about spiritual warfare, and definitely about forgiveness, before He brought me my knight in shining armor. My husband Tracy and I have been married for 22 years, and we raised a blended family of 6 children. Now, that's produced tons of stories of parental struggles. But we also own 3 businesses. We sold those when the last 3 kids were in high school, and we moved to Fort Worth. We lived in Fort Worth for 8 years, and almost every bit of that time I worked in the car business. I became this little high-maintenance city princess. So we moved back down to East Texas. My husband built me a war room, and I started writing. My first book, Betraying Eyes, is a fiction book, and I had it published. And then God led me to create my own publishing company, Center Mass Publishing, in order to defer any censorship to what God wanted me to write. My second book was Logic and Lunacy, and you can look at both of those on my book page. Thank you so much for visiting my website, and I hope to hear from you soon.